So Shaboozey, actually, whenever I was gonna make a video about him before he even dropped this album, like whenever I was going through like the daily uploads I wanted to do one about Shaboozey because I have like an idea for something I want to do, but I can't really tell you all about that right now because I don't even know if I'm gonna do it yet. I'm still going through like the planning phases of trying to do it. But something that I noticed is that I couldn't really tell. He was obviously like a singer and he was also trying to do like a country rap mix at the same time. Because I've known about Shaboozey ever since like, I think it was like a week after he dropped his first album. I seen, you know how Spotify has like the short things now where you can go in there and maybe like see like the visualizers and stuff and maybe try and get some new music from there. Really cool feature. I've actually discovered it. That's how I discovered Ryan Trey too. But Shaboozey, I seen one for Snake, and Snake is a pretty good song, and I realized, he's obviously rapping in this, and that's when I went to look at Beverly Hills, I listened to Gas, and then I listened to the whole album, and there was definitely more rapping than singing, but it was a good mixture, and I've noticed his newest songs, what was that first one called? I think did he drop one before Let It Burn? I don't think he did, but okay, Let It Burn, right? Straight just singing. Annabelle was just straight singing, which I noticed. I was like, oh, he's probably going to start singing more, which I'm not mad at because Shaboozey has a really good singing voice. But I know his rapping's okay. It's nothing crazy. It's kind of nice to listen to. He doesn't really say anything crazy. It's nice. It's nice to listen to. It sounds good. Then I don't think he dropped anything before. No, he dropped Vegas, which was definitely like a faster kind of singing, but it was really good. And I also noticed that other people were starting to notice. Like, other people were starting to notice he was starting to pop out a little more, which I usually feel good whenever I see a artist not long before they start popping off because, I knew about him before everyone else did, so it kind of makes me feel good. And I knew about him when, let's say, he had just below 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify. But after he has this general success, Vegas is starting to pop off. Let It Burn is actually like the first one that everyone started noticing. Then he gets featured on 2 Beyonce songs. He got featured on Sweet Honey Buckin' and what was the other one? I think it was Spaghetti, maybe? He was featured on part of that? I don't remember the other song. I just remember Sweet Honey Buckin'. But he actually had pretty nice features on there, and that was his first 2 charting songs. So people that were already noticing him, like the amount of people just doubled, honestly tripled because of that, because obviously Beyonce is one of the most popular singers in the world. So, like, people started to notice. And then after that, he drops a bar song. Shaboozey is extremely good. I've noticed that this is a really cool talent to have. He is really good at, like, managing to keep his hype, I've noticed. Or at least in this specific scenario of him, like, starting to get popular. He dropped a song, he dropped another song, then he dropped another song. Keeping his hype going, more eyes, more ears, gets on a big singer, and then he's rode the wave perfectly because he dropped a bar song, which is a really good song, really catchy. It's not really rapping or anything, but it's not singing either. Just really nice. It's good country music, and I'm not even a huge country music kind of guy. But that song charted at number 3 on the Billboard. It was, for a little bit, it was fighting for number 1. It like had a decent chance at getting it, and then I'm pretty sure that's when like Not Like Us came out and then kind of ruined the chance of that. And then it charted at number 3 because it was in like this tug of war with Million Dollar Baby, which is also a really good song. A lot of good like music coming out recently. But anyway, so a bar song comes out, Tipsy. It's a really good song, really nice. In my head, I'm like, okay, there's no way he's not gonna drop an album. Like, he has to. He's not Playboy Cardi. He's gonna drop the album now, because this is a perfect time to drop it. And lo and behold, 2 or 3 weeks later, he drops this album. Which, what's it called again? Where I've Been Isn't Where I'm Going. A really nice name, nice cover. I actually really like it. I listened to it while I was on my way to the beach, and I really like it. Shaboozey is, like, his singing, I feel like, just consistently gets better. Like, I think this is the best singing he's ever had, which is crazy because I thought Let It Burn was his best singing, and then after that I thought Vegas was his best singing. But it's also, like, I love the guitar usage. Like, I feel like he hasn't had a bad use of a guitar yet, but I also love how guitar sounds, so I'm a little biased on that front. But I think that's impressive. I mean, he hasn't, it hasn't seemed like too much yet. You know what I'm saying? Like he hasn't had one that just sounds like a basic guitar string. It just, he has nice guitar usage. It's the perfect length. It's only 14 songs, which is nice, I feel like nowadays, because when there's like albums with like 20 songs, 21 songs, it's kind of nice to go to a shorter, sweeter, more complete idea of a project, you know what I'm saying? And you can also tell that he probably like, I don't know, the album doesn't feel rushed, but he probably dropped the album quicker because he wanted to ride his wave better, you know what I'm saying? Or it just, my bad, my phone went off, or it was just might have been convenience, and that might have had something to do with why it's shorter. I hope he consistently keeps shorter albums, though. There was nice features, Noah Cyrus, Big X the Plug had a surprisingly nice feature, and I'm not even that big of a Big X the Plug kind of guy. I don't even think there should have been more of them. I think Shaboozey is a big enough, like a big enough presence on his songs to, a big enough presence on his songs to carry them. Without too much help from the instruments, like you can tell he doesn't, I don't know, it's kind of strange. He just doesn't like, oh my god, what? My phone is like just exploding. Oh my god. Okay, anyway, never mind. I had to start recording again because like my phone was just exploding. Anyway, he's a big enough presence on his songs where he's not carried by instruments and he wasn't carried by features. So I never felt like they're like, oh, this song needs a feature. This song didn't need the feature. You know what I'm saying? You can tell he uses them in like the best way possible, which is just to already enhance the songs. Noah Cyrus sounds really good. Big X the Plug enhances the song he's on. The only problem I really had is that the songs all kind of start the same way. I knew as soon as the next song came on, I was like, okay, there's about to be a guitar playing for about 10 seconds, and then he's going to sing, and there's going to be another instrument. That is kind of the same way with every single song. And especially where this one is more singy than his last one was. There's only like two like real hip hop parts, if you even, two or three if you even. I just dropped my phone. If like you count Vegas as like more hip hoppy sounding, and like just they all kind of start the same way. Like I knew what I was gonna get whenever I started one. It's just something else too. It's like it's really nice outside music. Like, I would love to just chill outside on my front porch and listen to this album. I think, honestly, that might be the best way to listen to it. I listen to it on the car ride to the beach, so I can't really vouch for it there. But I think, like, if I were to play this album outside, just chilling out in my yard, that's probably when it's going to hit the best. Some of the highlights were this Drink Don't Need No Mix, Horses and Hellcats, Highway's really good. The last song is also really good, too. I think it's, like, Forever Yours, I think. Something like that. I can't wait to see the rest of his career because Shaboozey has not been making music for long at all. Like his last album, the rollout before that was like the first time he had ever dropped music. I think, at least on Spotify. That's the first time he's been on Spotify. Because I went back to like whenever I heard his first album, I went to see and I was like, oh, these first songs are just singles from his first album. So he's at least not been on Spotify long, which usually tells me that he's not been making music for that long. Unless he's just been dropping on SoundCloud for freaking years. Anyway, overall I'd give it like an 8 out of 5, or 8 out of 5, an 8.5 out of 10 probably. I think that's pretty good. It's nothing really special when it comes to country music, but I feel like if you're like a hip hop fan like me, you're not going to notice that it's not different from other country music because you don't listen to country music, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, 8.5, that sounds really nice. I really like how this album sounds.